reflections about why all this freedom starts in the 1700s. You know, England, we would say that they start journalism, although arguably, some man goes to them. It come to a time where the merchants them and the nobles them, they struggle over waiting and waiting for right and waiting for say. And so at the time that way, they start for struggle over press freedom. Simply because press freedom gets a lot of connection with democracy. That is to say, you get the opportunity for express your view, though you have to be very careful with the express your view. And at the same time, in expressing your view, you represent the poorest of the poor in expressing your view. Press freedom don't come for we go reflect about how Salome Tantradi from the 60s to the 70s, but when you compare them from that thing to now, it's like we don't gradually progress. We don't progress towards the awareness of being a journalist and for perform what we call citizen journalism. And citizen journalism, they request say, being a journalist not necessarily means say for intimidate people, but for represent the citizens. And that you know for to engage, well, no one for talk that way. You know for in fact engage in sensationalism, stories representing hegemonic bodies, stories where they represent with politicians, them, story where they represent the kind of way within the most times like we talk so, they give story the way not reflect what they are now. So to me, press freedom day come for like reflect history and come for like compare history and current. Relatively, Salome better a little bit. But if we continue the how they go so, because it's like there are one or two journalists where they arrest, put in a cell, because they talk something we correct. If we go like that kind of way, they go to 10 or so years, then the press freedom no go be freedom. And that Salome will go back to the era of authoritarianism. Well,
he thinks the repeal is okay?
No, I know we come for condemn the acts where they do the move where they move towards repealing. Repealing in letter, repealing in writing, but repealing for falla, the writing and the practice. Now they may own problem there. Now I see a big number of few journalists, and one say a big number, but they celebrate, they say don't repeal the criminal act. But why isn't they celebrate me being very critical, reading the scripts and putting the script into practice? From the time they repeal to current, if I ask another question, government not arrest anybody, they not hold any journalist, they not hold any journalists. From the time where they repeal, and from the time they repeal, the expression of the journalists, then where they write, the one where they talk on television, the one where they talk on radio, then free. Because freedom nothing way hard for define. Then free for say what they feel like. In other words, representing the poorest of the poor. So to repeal is one, but to me on side, I go give like 55%. And I pass. Even though not to better pass. So to me, repealing is one, but putting this repeal what they write inside the script into practice is another. And we have individual differences, of course. Politicians can get their own way with anything. But if you say they go into the ideology that you want to try to bring them something where perhaps they want to keep force, then the repeal go they corner side inside the script and the practice will be rough. But I think say we relatively they move towards the kind way they say repeal, but we get certain things that we need for rectify as journalists they inside Sierra Leone. And not go come for the blame politicians, but the kind way the economy done there now and the kind way they practice with journalism now, it's like we get up Vuvuzela, or how we will call them, journalism, where they represent the hegemonic bodies, the politicians, the economic people that will get money, the paramount chief them.
Yellow journalism.
Yellow journal. Well, yes, even in fact was past that one day. Because when you look at the definition, yellow look fine, beautiful for look at. I will even say black journalism. But if I say black journalism, we say I'm a racist. So it's everything. Outside journalists, they need to do the correct things, and they represent the wrong individuals, they represent their voice. Let me not go into theories, the agenda setting and the rest of it. Let me not go into theories. But honestly, we set the agenda sometimes some man, not to all, they set their agenda not for social equilibrium or for peace, but setting the agenda for politicians in Sierra Leone, which we have to be very careful, because people then go lost trust in journalism and go to social media and begin come with breaking news. Breaking news. Everybody go out on journalists.
I mean a lot when you look at the Sierra Leone perspective about journalism. Journalism not to just a win-win situation wherein you get the news at the end of the day, you rush to go publish them. But we don't see even the part 5 under the Criminal Procedure Act where they for do it, the repeal of we lost them now Sierra Leone. I believe narratively don't help you a lot, and we as journalists we always do work towards that one day, and we continue to tell the younger ones them where they practice journalism for make them go through the steps where parliament don't do their level best, government don't do their level best even for make we start for get a freedom for report on issues, we get for do it and the parliamentary proceedings for report on court proceedings. We don't they get so many, and freedom, small freedom are there. Even though yes, challenges and we don't see that they arrest some journalists, then take them at the prison, take them at the cells, and also the threatening of journalists. They don't cause so many ambience within Sierra Leone and the country at large.
Well, it's like the way we as journalists can always remember. I mean, the press, you know, they reflect on those of the colleagues that will be team up trying to make sure see the effects of press freedom. And this is a day where we also for reflect on how we as journalists then for always they come together and be the voice of the voiceless. Somebody go say there are challenges. Indeed, there are challenges when it comes to press freedom in some countries in Africa. And for some of we don't follow this. Yeah, different countries say journalists they get that type of freedom for exercise or for doing the work kind of for do. Sierra Leone, I would say yes, we are trying, but it's of no exception. We don't see journalists and they face a lot of intimidations, whether from censorship. Censorship, I mean, either it could be from higher authorities in the sense even your manager at times he step in, but he say you don't need for talk this. In fact, probably your manager not the support what they try to do. They will tell you say not do this one. We don't see a lot of them things happen. We can also get intimidation from the political wing. So perhaps you want to talk about party A, they will tell you say, oh man, not put more tender. If you're not in at that party, they not put more day. And sometimes we, the journalists, they feel like we are not safe. You know, when you talk about press freedom as well, you have to look at the security aspect of we, the journalists. Then for many times now, we don't see a lot of journalists, they're afraid for practice. We see plenty of them now, they come up from the field of journalism, they go to another discipline. When you talk to one or two of them, they will tell you say the journalism field is no longer safe for them, for practice. Why? They will tell you say because of the press freedom we know they. But we want to also send a strong message to the government of Africa, the way I mean Africa, I don't mean always alone, that it's only when you allow the press for say what them things say necessary for the people then you will get a democratic state. Coming down to Sierra Leone, we all know the fourth estate. After the 3 arms of government, we get the fourth estate when we the journalists then. But to be honest with you and to be candid and to be frank and plain here, we know they see that type of honor into the media. You know, for saying they honor journalists. Journalists reach out today and begin honor them. But I mean, that has not been happening. Although there are other places, there are exceptions where journalists they go, they get that type, respect, and they get that type welcome. Where somebody will even see you say, oh, this is a journalist, this is not a press, this is not members of the fourth estate, not get that respect, they know they intimidate you. Even when you want to go do stories, they know they intimidate you. That is why I find out most journalists are now they focus on PR stories. Because the under you go no do a story, they know they intimidate you, you get your money, you come out there. But when you look at critical issues that are happening or that are affecting the citizens of the country, journalists can so skeptical and can find it difficult to put more today, or for do findings or investigate. Because one, they think because they're not safe, they think about the political intimidation, they think about the boss them who will say, not put more and not talk real, not do this one. So all of this boil out that we really need to get much for do as far as press freedom is concerned.